How's it going, guys? I'm Christian. This is my father, Bert, and welcome to our new home here in South Glens Falls, New York. We're happy to be kind of brewing back on our original site. We had a fire here about 16 months ago, and we were able to kind of rebuild and create a whole new home for us, and we're really happy to be able to show that off. Well, the best thing about coming to Common Roots is that you get to try a new beer, and if it's something that you're paying a couple bucks to try out a brand new beer, then we take your opinions very seriously, and we do like hearing feedback. Having a tap room is kind of having a built-in tasting panel, and we really do expect to get just as much feedback from our brewing staff as we do from our customer base. So in addition to fresh 4-packs from our canning line, you can also get great growlers to go. We have 32 drafts, and a lot of those are beers that we don't always package and are ones that are really just for growler fill or crowlers. So definitely come on in and check out whatever new offerings we have. We're always coming out with new beers. Our pilot system gets a lot of work, and we're always kind of trying out new styles and variations of existing styles and just coming out with plenty new beers. So check it out. This is where all the goodness happens. The man, the myth, the legend. Chris is back here keeping it clean, making some awesome pies for the world. So if you definitely want some awesome pizza, local ingredients, these pizzas ingredients come from about within 40 miles of the brewery, and they're always delicious. So definitely come on in and get some pizza. Yeah, so this is a pretty cool room actually. This is our private event space room. It's a great space if you ever want a birthday party, a bachelorette party, or even just a meeting. This room actually has the same technology as our conference room does. So we definitely invite the world to bring your next business meeting to here. It's a built-in computer speaker system. It's also where we start brewery tours. So we start and finish brewery tours here. It's great access. You can see the entire brewery. And we usually do a sampling back here at the private bar as well. It gives a little bit of a different perspective of the production space and allows for us to have kind of an educational conversation about what we're really doing here at Common Roots. Yeah, welcome to the production space. This is where all the magic happens. I'm sitting on the brew deck of our brand new Fraunhofer design, fully automated 30-barrel brew house. Fraunhofer Designs, actually it's my wife's family's company, and this is a big Common Roots, it's a big family operation. My father and I started it and still own it together. And it's really nice to be able to partner with another family company that builds all of our tanks, our canning line, completely local. Our current cellar is based with 30 and 60 barrel tanks. We have 6 more tanks coming in that'll be here in early 2021, which will be a little bit larger tanks for us, some 90 barrel tanks, to really ensure that we can keep giving the entire craft beer community all the good beer that we enjoy producing. So after grain comes in from our outdoor silos, it gets milled and then stored in a grist case, which is just back behind here, and really comes into the first tank, which is our mash tun. This is where that first initial conversion happens from complex carbohydrates to simple sugars. We then suck all that grain and send it over to our lauter tun. Laundering is where we really rinse the grain, and start laying a grain bed, and where we're really creating wort. We then send that wort over to the boil kettle where it boils. We sometimes add some hops, and then after usually about an hour boil, we'll then send it over to the final tank here called the whirlpool tank, where we will then add usually a lot more hops, spin the beer, and then send it down below deck here where it goes through a heat exchanger and then goes to one of our whichever fermenting vessel that it's designated for the day. Our entire brew system is completely automated. In fact, you can control not just the brew deck, but all of our cellar tanks as well, from 2 control panels, one that sits up here on the brew deck and another one that's in our cellar. The nice thing about this system is that it's completely automated and allows for us to have really specific controls of all of our beer, whether it's being produced or how it's fermenting. That quality is what we really strive for, to be high quality beers and also really consistent beers. So not only do we want to make incredibly consistent and high quality beer, but we also being sustainable is an ethos that is really important here at Common Roots. This facility is built to be entirely green. We have multiple aspects that we took in from an engineering perspective here to kind of manage how sustainable we can be. This first tank here is our hot liquor tank. We have 16 solar hot water panels on the roof, which generate an enormous amount of heat and actually heat this tank organically. We also use byproducts from our brew system to generate more heat, so that we're actually hardly ever using any energy alone to heat this tank. In addition to our solar hot water system that we have on the roof, we also have a 100,000 kilowatt hour solar array on our roof too. It actually produces much more energy than what we actually use, so we're able to kind of generate more energy back into the grid. You can see on this panel here, which is just showing kind of a snapshot of a week throughout the summer of just our general usage and how much we've been producing. At the time, it looks like we had produced about 3.35 megawatt hours that entirely almost went back to the grid. So we're really happy about that. It makes a lot of sense from us, from our ethos standpoint, and also that we've always want to be a good community steward, and whether it's being a great community member or also being a sustainable community member. We know that brewing does create a lot of energy and we use a lot of water, so any way we can mitigate that energy waste is really important to us here. If you have electric cars, we have 2 electric car charging spots here, so feel free to bring your electric car, charge it up, and grab some beer and pizza to go. So we're standing here and it's a kind of a rainy day, but we're under our nice covered porch here at Common Roots. We really love we're in the Southern Adirondacks here, just outside the park. The best thing about living in upstate New York is being able to sit outside and have a beer. So when we rebuilt this facility, we really wanted to make sure that people could enjoy sitting outside and hanging out. This is a covered day, it's raining, but it's still a great beer drinking weather. On nicer nights too, we have 2 gas fireplaces where you can sit out and enjoy a beer and enjoy the kind of the nice Southlands Falls evenings. In addition to kind of just being a great kind of environment to drink beer in, we chose our landscaping very specifically. So these are all native species, but more importantly, they're also viewed as pollinators. And one thing we want to do is also make sure that our food chain is always intact, and it really starts with the honeybee population. So that was something that we wanted to make sure we had is sustainable landscaping, make sure that water mitigation is always a thing, but also that we're able to create pollinators and create a great home to make sure that our local bee populations are able to stay sustainable and to make sure that our food chain stays intact. When we were rebuilding this place, it was really important for us to take advantage of as much local material as possible, but also as many recycled materials as possible. So actually all of our benches and tables, as well as ceiling, are actually made from old school bleacher boards that were then repurposed and planed down and created a second use for us. Our bar as well, both the bar in the main restaurant as well as the bar in the private event space room, is old barnwood as well as some antique maple that we're able to use and repurpose and build a bar that we're hoping that people get to sit and have a beer at pretty soon.
Hey, thanks for visiting with us today at Common Roots Brewing Company. We look forward to seeing you in person. We have beer to go, growlers and crowlers to go, and food to go. So it's a nice spot. We created what we would hope to be a destination brewery for everybody in the North Country.
Absolutely, and if you can't visit us here, make sure you check out our beer in the Capital Region, the Northern Adirondacks, Western New York, and beyond. Cheers.
Cheers.
We drink upstate.